Okay, go.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
Hi, I'm Avery.
Hi, I'm Rebecca.
Hi, I'm Wanda.
For our research project, we decided to look at periods of isolation and how they affect a person's level of anxiety. We looked at periods of isolation that has been happening in today's society due to the COVID isolation that has started this year, as well as looking at past articles and blogs of things that have happened before the isolation to see how their anxiety levels have changed. In a study that was done in 2014, they found out that being social has a direct effect on a person's brain development as well as their health.
As humans, we are social beings and share mirror neurons that help match emotions unconsciously and almost immediately. When there are a lack of social interactions, physical changes to the brain and physical and mental health are interfered with as well.
We hypothesized from looking at these past studies and also from our own personal experiences that a person's anxiety would worsen in isolation as well as worsen as that isolation goes on.
We believe due to longer isolation and lack of interaction, there will be a rise in anxiety levels because of how many people benefit from social relationships.
We defined isolation as a period of 3 months or longer where a person does not have any face-to-face interaction besides those who they live or work with. We define anxiety as a feeling of being nervous and worried of things constantly, while also having the feeling of not being in control of a certain situation. Those who suffer from anxiety not only suffer from mental health, but also physical health. Those who have panic attacks go into uncontrollable shakes and breathlessness.
We are passionate about this topic due to our own experiences and how it has affected us. My experience starting the school was hard and is hard. Early this semester, I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety and did not know the negative effect it could have on me. It has affected my ability to do my schoolwork and I'm constantly worrying. Luckily, I got diagnosed and I started taking medicine and working out to help my overall mood and anxiety.
One of our methods that we used to collect data was we scoured the internet on YouTube, blogs, and different articles in social media. The data that we collected we put them on a scale of 1 to 5 based on our definition. For this specific scale, we used the BAI or the Beck Anxiety Inventory Scale. One article that we used included essays written by members of the Boys and Girls Club of Southeastern Michigan. Another article, we had entries from essential workers that gave their point of view of how COVID-19 has affected them. We used the BAI scale to focus in on certain symptoms that we were able to point out during our research. Some of the symptoms that we looked for were being unable to relax, feeling of fear, feeling of nervousness, difficulty in concentrating, muscle tension, and sleep disturbances. The scale ranged from 1 to 5, with 1 meaning that the person showed no anxiety, and 5 meaning that the person showed signs of very high anxiety. Out of the 20 socially isolated cases, we rated 5 people as a 1 person as a 2, 5 people as a 3, 7 people as a 4, and 2 people as a 5. Out of the 20 non-socially isolated cases, we rated 8 people as a 1, 6 people as a 2, 5 people as a 3, 0 people as a 4, and 1 person as a 5. One non-isolated case that we rated a 5 was a 42-year-old male anesthesiologist that is on a COVID-19 intensive care unit in Italy. While working through the pandemic, he has developed a fear of catching the virus, has begun to lose sleep, and his job has become more demanding on a mental level. Another way his job has become stressful is due to over half his patients becoming intubated or they end up not recovering and dying. One isolated case we rated a 5 was a young woman who created a video on YouTube. In the video, she talks about how she has developed a complex trauma and uses laughing and smiling as defense mechanisms. Since being in isolation, she has also developed higher levels of depression and anxiety. She used to have a daily routine of going to the gym and other places, but since they have been shut down, it is now harder for her to stay busy. Even though she is an introvert, she feels trapped.
We we measured the anxiety level for the social isolation did show very high in our result. As we collected the data from the YouTube and articles and blogs, we did not have a first-hand experience due to the social distance learning, and it was hard for us to find a first-hand interview to be done. So we have to depend on the YouTubes and blogs and videos and articles, which raised a lot of question in our mind whether all these data are valid and reliable. The reason that we had this question is mainly because that we did not have any interaction with the group member, or we didn't have any kind of a follow-up question that if we had when we were looking at the anxiety category according to the Becky anxiety inventory. But overall, our result shows anxiety is significant in social isolation than in non-social isolation. What we noticed as a group, there was no discrimination when it came to anxiety, whether it was young or old, male or female, college children, school children. It did not affect in any way based on these discrimination. So it kind of gave us this idea, maybe this data collection is going to give us some valid results. Before I go into a detail of what we got, I just want to highlight few of the definition that statistically used in this database. It's a categorical independent variables like isolation and non-isolation, and standard deviation and variance. Variance in statistics is a measurement of the spread between the numbers in data set. That is, it measures how far each number is set is from the mean, and therefore from every other number is set. The pooled variance estimates the population variance by aggregating the variance obtained from two or more samples. The pooled variance is widely used in statistical procedures where different samples from one population or samples from the different population provide an estimate of the same variance. Degree of freedom refers to the maximum number of logically independent values, which are values that have the freedom to vary in the data sample. T-distribution is a continuous probability distribution of the z-score when the estimated standard deviation is used in the denominator rather than the true standard deviation. According to our collection data analysis, we came down with these results. Standard deviation for isolation is 3, standard deviation for non-isolation 2. variance for isolation 1.89, and variation for non-isolation 1.16, pool variance 1.53, degree of freedom 3.8, t-distribution 2.53, our p-value 0.01. Since we use the t-scale, the lower the p-value, the greater the statistical significance of the observed difference. So we can, without doubt, to say there is a significance in anxiety in isolation case.